Welcome to the All Financial Hour podcast with Steve All.
Retirement is drawing closer for those Gen Xers who, by the way, the oldest in that group are now about 60. Yet an article I saw recently was titled, "For Gen X, Retirement Bites." And this is what it said. It said Gen Xers don't think they've saved enough for retirement. They wish they had started saving sooner. They fear outliving their savings. And then they're also worried about another stock market crash. Steve, where do you stand on this? And then most importantly, how do you help, I guess, set the defense for these uncertainties coming our way?
Well, I think that it's a new generation because the baby boomers has been the focus for me, and it was such a large group that it went from there. Now we're going to the Gen X, those born between 1965 and 1980. Mm-hmm. So we look at that. It's a different type of a generation. They grew up with computers. Whereas us baby boomers, we kind of got into the computer late. And with that, there's a lot more DIY, do-it-yourself people in what I would call the Gen Xers. And I said the other thing that I think was very difficult, the older Gen Xers, they got saving their money just in time for the 2000 collapse. They're out there and all of a sudden everything's going great. And then we had the 50% decline in 2000. And then about the time they got their money back, 2007 to 2009 hit. So a lot of that generation is not as comfortable with the market. And I think that's where that question of it is have I saved enough for my own retirement? The other thing the Gen Xers get hit with is there's not as many pensions. A lot of the pensions had started going away. So you've got a completely different scenario that we're planning for. It's for people that have saved their own money, don't have all those guaranteed incomes. So it is a lot different picture. And you get the news all the time. I loved it when you got the news at 5 o'clock and 10 o'clock.
That's right. Appointments. Yeah, you had to make it.
You read the newspaper in the morning. In the town I grew up in, you had an evening paper and you had a morning paper. So that's where we got it. Now we got a 24-hour news cycle going on out there. So people are constantly being told. And then we hear things like you need $1.8 to $1.9 million to retire. And it's like, that's a pretty hefty little lifestyle. Mm-hmm. So that's the question that I look at when it comes to it. The do-it-yourselfers. It's what you don't know that usually causes the problems. It's when we come in and people start talking about taxes because not everything's taxed the same. During our working years, we pay income tax on our income. All types of income are taxed differently. So those are the things that we have to look at. How are you going to replace that paycheck? And I think that's the thing that's the most important. So if you're that 5 to 10 years out from retirement, give us a call. Let us look at it now and how we might be able to shift what you're currently doing so that when you do get to that age you want to retire, it's not then we look at it and say, oh, you should have done it this way 5 to 10 years earlier. It's a lot easier to shift what you're already doing so that it's more advantageous for you in your retirement years. So if you're asking yourself, when can I retire? Will I run out of money? Give us a call. Ask for that comprehensive retirement plan. Allow myself and my team to assist you with planning for your retirement.
And again, this comprehensive retirement plan is complimentary to you listening right now. If you are wondering when can I retire? How do I do on this? This comprehensive retirement plan is a great opportunity for you. And that phone number, 636-230-8824. That's 636-230-8824. 8824. That website, yourmoneymattersstl.com. At age 79, Judge Judy, she is still going strong. She actually just wrapped up her 4th season of Judy Justice. I don't even know why she's working. I mean, her net worth is estimated at $580 million. I mean, that's ridiculous. Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy. And if anybody knows her, please have them give me a call.
I know, right?
Down and chat with her.
Yeah, you need some financial help. We'll help you out. She strongly believes that more women need to achieve financial independence. Here's what she says.
Once a woman gives up financial independence to a mate, it's over. But you have to be prepared because if you're not prepared, then you're stuck. And more women have to accept lifestyles that are unpleasant because they are financially stuck.
Well, I think that's important to note. I think a lot of women, many women feel kind of they take a backseat to a lot of this financial conversation, right? It ends up being, it's just about the husband. He's making the decisions sometimes. How do you promote financial independence for women clients?
I think you've got it both ways. I think it is more common for the male to be the person that does all the things for the investing. But there are a lot of clients within my client base that it is the female that does the investments, pays the bills, and handles all the financial side of it. So it's not that black and white. They're both sides to that fence. And I look at it, we have many female clients that are divorced, widowed, or single. And they are financially independent. And that's why we look at it. And that was one of the things that we had was I just hired Tracy Richardson. Tracy's been in the industry for over 22 years, predominantly dealing with more high net worth clients, but she deals with everybody. She's got just a great personality and she's easy to get along with. And that's where I look at it to the point, I think having her to help balance our team is very, very important. Because I can sit there and my wife, I can say things like, I understand what you're talking about. And my wife will look at me with that deer in the headlight look like, what do you mean? We don't think the same way.
Yes.
But when we bring that in there, some women prefer a male to be their financial advisor. Mm-hmm. Some women would prefer a female. So that's why I put her into the system, because I think it's more important to say, are you getting what you need out of the financial relationship that you had? Are your questions being answered? Do we understand the question? I have found out with dealing with Tracy, men are pretty good about thinking about one thing. Women can think about 2 to 3 things at the exact same time. So when we're meeting with somebody, she's going to pick up things that I might not pick up. And I think that's the importance of having a well-balanced team within the All Financial Group. So if you would prefer to meet with a female, please give us a call. Ask for the comprehensive retirement plan. Tell them that you want Tracy in the room with you when you start. I don't have a problem with that. I want to give you what you're looking for, because I think that's the most important thing around financial planning, is that you're comfortable doing it, because that's why most people avoid it. They're not comfortable. Give us a call. Ask for the comprehensive retirement plan and ask to speak with Tracy.
Give a call today for that comprehensive retirement plan. And if you're more comfortable sitting down with a woman, Tracy Richardson here in the All Financial Group is available for you. 636-230-8824. That's 636-230-8824. The website, yourmoneymattersstl.com. There was a recent survey by Allianz, and it estimates that nearly half of retirees are anxious about spending their savings. So what's one way to help them overcome it? Well, financial planner Kevin Lum says you need to look at something called an income annuity.
Annuitized income won't maximize wealth, but it can maximize spending confidence. The average person with an annuity spends twice as much money as someone with a similar portfolio invested in the market. Now, the portfolio owner ends up richer, but the annuity owner feels more secure, even if they end up with less money.
Interesting here. I mean, Steve, you've been doing this for decades here. Have you seen this with some of the clients who come in and sit down with you?
I think that's one of the toughest things for people when it comes to retirement. Most of the people that come in to talk to us, they've basically done the rules, save like nobody else, and then when you retire, you can retire like nobody else. Mm-hmm. But because they've gone from save, some of them are very uncomfortable spending that money. And as I like to put it, when we get them in there, you've saved your entire life for someday. Guess what today is? Someday. This is someday. And sometimes that can be very difficult to sit here and say, I'm going to start spending down the assets. And I think that's a big difference between somebody that just gives investment advice, which stock, bond, mutual fund, which ETF model are we going to go with, versus planning. Because one is just based on rates of return. And as Kevin put it, is you might not have as many assets if you take it But having that guaranteed income that's going to come in every single month, that what I like to call personally funded pension. If you can set aside enough of your money to guarantee that lifestyle, you're getting ready to retire, there's a gap between your current incomes and your lifestyle. If we can guarantee that payment for the rest of your life, and if you're married, for you and your spouse's life, and then use all the other assets that we have to help offset inflation, do the extras, the things that we really want to do, I think those is very important, because you know every month that check's going to be sitting in your account. It's kind of like that added security of Social Security. Now, Social Security is guaranteed by the government. It could be possible changes, but it's there. What if you have a corporately funded pension? That company, they're going to continue to pay you and your spouse. They're guaranteeing that money. In this case here, you've set some of your money aside, and an insurance company is going to guarantee that you get that money for the rest of your life. It's just that availability to know that it's going to happen. There are other ways that you can get that income. I like the annuity because it's guaranteed by an insurance company. I can also take and build a bond portfolio or a stock portfolio, and then you could take it out. But those investments will go up and down, can fluctuate. This gives me that added peace of mind that check's going to be there every single month. So, if you would like the idea of that guaranteeing your lifestyle, give us a call. Ask about the income plan so that we can sit down and figure out how you're going to replace your paycheck when you decide it's time to retire.
And coming in and sitting down discussing these guaranteed income options, guys, remember, it's all customized. It's all what fits into your financial plan, that income plan we're offering you right now. That's 636-230-8824. 636-230-8824. That website, yourmoneymattersstl.com. Cam Newton, he is a former NFL quarterback who is now on ESPN's First Take. He says one of the biggest money mistakes that pro athletes make is failing to understand how their income will be taxed.
See, the thing is, in one demographic, from a W-2 to a W-9, right, you're writing off what you spend. But people don't realize, as an athlete, you're a part of the 1%. So not only do you get state tax, Chicago, Illinois, you're getting federal tax. Every state that you play in, you get taxed with those states. So, boy, how do you spend to blow $30 million? Taxes.
Taxes. It's like the monster in the closet, Steve.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It really is.
You know, and most people don't realize what he said. If they play a football game in Los Angeles...
Yeah, they get taxed each state, yeah.
You get taxed in each state. You know, you go around. Hockey players, if they get the Canadian taxes, if they play in a Canadian city. The Canadian athletes have to pay the U.S. taxes when they come here. So it is the complex system. I don't know as much about the Canadian system, but I do know that the United States has one of the most complex tax systems that you can ever look at. As he said, income. I got to pay state taxes. I got to pay city taxes. They got to do it all over. So taxes are very important. But depending on what kind of income that you have, most of us during our, quote, accumulation years, we have a W-2. W-2 is taxed as ordinary income. But then we start looking at how is the other income taxed? Social Security. Different rules on Social Security. It's going to depend upon how much money that you make outside of Social Security. Those are the things that are going to tell you how you're going to pay taxes. Then we get into the other stuff. What about interest? Interest is taxed as ordinary income. We get a 1099 for that. What about dividends? Qualified dividends get taxed at capital gains rates. Capital gains rates depend on what your income is. And that's why I'm saying it is such a complex system. Annuities. If it's an IRA account, it's always taxed as ordinary income. If it's outside of an IRA account in a non-qualified account, the taxes, they're going to tax you on the gains first, and then you're getting part of your principal back. So I think that's the thing that most people miss. We were told many, many years ago that you're going to be in a lower tax bracket in retirement. Well, a lot of people are finding out that's not true. And then when they look at it, have you thought about if you lose a spouse? Now you're in those single brackets. What about when required minimum distributions kick in and you have to start pulling that money out of your IRA account? And that's where I look at it. I think tax planning is the most overlooked, as he put it. You know, how do you waste $30 million? Taxes. Now, you know, most of us don't have that kind of a tax problem, but those small things that we can do to assist you, Roth conversions, you know, would that make sense for you? Because for me, I believe that reducing or eliminating taxes in retirement is the best thing you can do for a successful retirement. How do you do that? I'm going to say give us a call. Come in. Let us run a tax analysis. Let's look at where you're at. Find out, would Roth conversions make sense for you? What about for your heirs? You know, we were told going to pass it on to the kids. It was a great, great, great thing that we could do prior to the Secure Act. The Secure Act now says the kids or the heirs have to take it out in a 10-year period. Might throw a tax time bomb their way. Give us a call now. Ask about the tax analysis. Allow myself, my team, to assist you on something that you didn't think you were going to have to worry about in retirement, but most people are going to, and that's taxes. Give us a call.
Thanks for listening to the All Financial Hour podcast.
Insurance products are offered through the insurance business All Insurance Group, LLC, AIG. All Financial Group, LLC is an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. IPW does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by All Insurance Group, LLC, AIG are not subject to investment advisor requirements. IPW and All Insurance Group, LLC, AIG are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims-paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This radio show is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual's situation. All Financial Group, LLC is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during this show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by All Financial Group, LLC.
This radio show is intended for information purposes only.